I was reflecting as you were speaking about a particular friend that I have who I remember a conversation with him in the middle of the pandemic where he like turned to me and said, it's people that are young and healthy that are ending up in the hospital beds. And I remember saying to him, I was like, I was living at his house. I was like, no, I don't think that. I think
Yeah.
the NHS website says it's people that are like out of shape and slightly older that are ending up in hospital beds. And he like was like really, really triggered by that.
Mm.
And I remember he's like a good friend of mine. So we had a conversation about it and we dug and dug and dug because we are like really good friends. Like, why is it that all of us as like boys, we know in like the group chat when we're bantering, all we've got to do is say, like, no, you're wrong.
Wait, one little
One
thing.
thing. And it's like red mist.
Yeah.
And we had like a really open conversation about it really over the last like year and a half. And he said, when I was younger, all of the teachers thought I was stupid. And also, I then got bullied on the playground because people thought I was stupid. And then I found text messages from my grandmother to my mum where they said I was stupid. And then I found on my report card, they'd basically written me off. So 30 years later, when we're having a conversation, just a
Wow.
trivial conversation about the
Yeah.
pandemic, when I go, no, I don't think that's right. And I like pull up the website and stuff. And he gets like sees the red mist as me and him call it now. It all stems back
Yeah.
30 years to this experience of on the playground. So
Mm.
like you said, it could be proving someone wrong, but in that case, it's actually like proving the bullies right. It's
Yes.
proving all the people that hurt him right. And it's
Yes.
showing up 30 years later as this red mist. The story ends with him going to a therapist and speaking about it.
Yeah.
And he's resolved it now to the extent to which he can, where now when he feels that feeling, he's able to point at it, he knows what it is, and so it doesn't make the decision.
Right. Knowing your trigger is one of the biggest ways to defend against that, to know your trigger. And it's funny how, just like your friend is telling you, so many things in everybody's life goes back to the playground.
Mhm.
Like we can remember that thing that one kid said, like right now. We could
Mhm.
probably remember it.
Oh,
What
100%.
somebody said in high school,
Came straight to mind.
and it's been years, but you remember it and it lives with you for that long. Of just simply what they had said in that moment, that you've created that identity. That's a trigger.
Mm.
And if you tend to hit somebody with a trigger, it's different. Like you can always, it's very telling in the courtroom when somebody takes a level 1 conversation and they ratchet it up to a level 10. It's very disproportionate. And it tells you that there's a conversation happening in their head that you weren't invited to. It tells you that something else is going on.